Merry Vlogmas, everybody! How's it going out there? I hope it's been a good one for you guys so far. We've got a very special video for you today. It's Christmas memories. And I know you're excited to hear about all the things that we remember about Christmas. But it's gonna be good stuff, I promise you.
We make no such promises.
Alright, I take that back. But it will be a memory, I promise that. One of the things my sister and I, when we were finally old enough to pull ourselves out of bed and go tug on the door, we were generally kids that we didn't wake up ridiculously early. That wasn't a thing that we did. But for Christmas, we managed to. We'd be up at 4 in the morning, hanging outside our parents' room, going like, it's Christmas, come on out here. And they'd tell us, you gotta wait until like, 7:38, something like that, ridiculous. Like, come on, it's Christmas. Like, it's been Christmas for 4 hours. So they would tell us we can go sit in the living room where Santa had left all the gifts and the tree was set up.
Santa wrapped y'all's presents.
Yes, Santa was a wrapping present home for us. The way Santa coordinated it with my parents is that because we would wake up so early that nothing would be seen by us until they were ready. So some parents have it in like that with Santa, I guess. So everything in our house was wrapped. We'd go sit out in the living room, and at some point we started being able to watch movies. We knew how to set everything up, and it became a thing where we would watch Toy Story. There was different movies every year, but it seemed like that was always the first movie that we pulled out. So yeah, it's a memory for me to think about my sister and I, wherever was the most comfortable she sat. It's true. And yeah, that was the Christmas memory I think about all the time when I think about Christmas, is her and I getting up early and going and trying to be quiet and keep mom and dad and let them get a couple more hours of sleep, and then her and I hang out and just speculate about, oh, I wonder what that is, I wonder what that is, but mostly just hanging out.
Well, things are totally different at my house. At my house, our parents fully expected that we were gonna get up at 4, 5 in the morning, probably usually 4. They had a rule too that we just had to wake them up before we went out there to look at the gifts, and Santa did not wrap things in our house, which was awesome. So I would get up, and my bedroom actually faced the living room, and so some years the tree was on that wall, depending on how my mom had the living room arranged. And some years it was on this wall, and all of the plastic packaging that all your favorite toys come in when you're little. All the Christmas lights are just hitting it, and the tinsel, and we always had icicles in our tree when I was growing up, and the lights would just sparkle off of it. My mom was very meticulous about the icicles, and off of the plastic wrapping in it. I'd have to divert my eyes and try not to look, but sometimes I'd catch a peek of one thing. And Santa was really good at layering stuff. So you'd see one thing and you'd be super stoked, and then others and others. And so that was my favorite memory, is just the look of all of those lights bouncing off of the plastic. And so much realistic, but man, it's so magical, and something that I always want my kids to have that experience too. And I'd creep down the hall to my brother's room and wake him up, and then wake my parents up. And my mom was easier to get up than my dad. My dad would just be, and I never got it, that they were just hot and been asleep. And they'd get up, and dad's I gotta get the coffee, and they'd try to get their coffee cups and get settled, and they'd want to get settled on the couch and then watch us come in. So I'm we don't got time for that. So he'd have to sit down without his coffee while we did the first round, and he'd be waiting for us to go through it, I think, so that he could go get coffee without missing anything, because he wanted to see it all. So we'd usually take a break between Santa and stockings for him to, all right, now I gotta go make my coffee. That's one of my favorite memories.
One of my Christmas memories is very interesting. When we were kids, we used to go to a night service or whatever, and watch carolers. Christmas carolers.
Carolers.
Basically, just like a night service where it's just you go and they sing. And one year when I was elementary schoolish, right around that time when you start to be able to distinguish things that are right and wrong, I took the program and a pen and I wrote down every single bad word that I knew. And I drew a bunch of little symbols and stuff that I had seen around, and somewhere about, 3/4 of the way through, my dad asks for the little program and I don't want to give it to him, and he's like, just give it to me, because I think he wants to find out how much longer we have to go. And I hand it on over to him, and he just kind of takes a look at it and then looks his head back up and hands it to my mom, and my mom kind of looked at it and looked back up, and needless to say, they weren't happy.
Did you like that? He just straight handed it to your mom?
Oh.
I thought like you were gonna tell me he like looked at it and then like between you and him, like man to man,
Oh,
like
no.
man to man.
No. Not at all. He straight.
I thought that's how he liked to handle things,
No, straight passed it on over to her. Or maybe he didn't, I don't know. She found out. She found out. And he, pre-internet, took me to the library, made me pull out, I wouldn't have just been a regular dictionary, but we had to go and I had to carry the program with me, and we went to the library and he made me write out definitions for all the words and find the little symbols and go through, and
you had to write out definitions for dirty words?
Yeah, I had to write out.
Did it tell you that they were not dirty words?
Yeah,
that they were based on?
It backfired, I'd say, in the long run. I definitely didn't find anything that was so terrible that I was like, oh man, like I'll never use any of these terrible words ever again. Or I think like one of the things was like a yin yang, and I was like, I don't see anything wrong with this. And for the most part, I just kind of walked away from it going like, all right, like that was an experience. Oh, I got grounded, of course, too. But
so, it's one of your best Christmas memories, or just one of your strongest?
That's a Christmas. Ones? That's a very strong Christmas memory. Yeah, I guess it's just one of those stories that happen around Christmas. So it's like Die Hard.
One of my best Christmas memories that happened every year is my granddaddy would make a gumdrop tree. And that's something we'll cover in another video, but I really would want to start that tradition for my kids too. But he would go out and find like the little branches basically off of like briar bushes or what they're historically made out of, and you sharpen them all up, and anyway you stick like spiced gumdrops all over it and you stick it in a vase, and it's beautiful. And then we would eat all the gumdrops off of it, and he always like refilled it like every morning and every night. Like he made sure that it was full of gumdrops always. And I just remember him like with his little pocket knife like working on it, and every year it's like one of my best memories. Probably
the best, most recent Christmas memory that I truly will always carry with me was when Susan and I started dating. We, not the very first year around, but after that we started to go visit her parents on the holidays and go for Easter and Thanksgiving, Christmas, that sort of thing. So it was the probably first or second Christmas in there. We didn't go for actual Christmas. We ended up waiting and going for New Year's, because that Christmas we were supposed to go on a trip, and we ended up not going on the trip because we both ended up getting the flu.
Oh man,
and
yeah.
It was the first trip I had ever planned for us. We were gonna drive to Pennsylvania to go see.
We don't have very good trip luck.
Oh yeah, it was really bad.
To go see the Steelers play.
Yeah, we were gonna go see the Steelers play last week, the regular season. They were playing the Browns, rivalry, all this good stuff. I got tickets like on the 50-yard line. We were real excited, and then I don't know who got sick first. I think maybe you did, and then
But I was like trying to pull through. I was like, it's gonna be okay. Like, I'm gonna do it. I don't care. I mean, like, it's the most sick, like one of the sickest times we've ever been in our lives.
I was like, okay, like she's gonna pull through, and then I got it.
And then he got it. But I was able to sell the tickets at the last minute.
But we were able to come.
That's another Christmas memory.
That is a Christmas memory. Well, we ended up we weren't gonna be going to their home for Christmas day that year because we had already planned to do that. So we ended up going for New Year's. But the reason this is a great Christmas memory is because it happened around the time of Christmas. But on the drive home, we had a conversation about Christmas and children. And that was the moment that I decided I was going to ask Susan to marry me.
Aww.
And yeah, I always remember that moment and that car ride. And as you were talking about having kids, I was like, I can see myself having kids with this person, and I kind of want to spend the rest of my life with her.
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah, obviously the feelings were mutual and pretty strong, so a little bit more than kinda, but yeah, like that was a great Christmas memory for me, by and far the best. Aww. What you got? Nothing. It's over.
I don't have anything to top that.
Show's over, ladies and gentlemen.
I don't have anything to top that. Like, I have lots and lots of great Christmas memories though. My parents made Christmas this big, huge, special thing every year, and my grandparents did too, with dinner, Christmas dinner every year, and just the family all together. And my grandma and granddad used to throw these huge Christmas Eve parties every year, and like oyster roast when I was little. And I do have a memory about some spiked PJ from that when I was a little kid that my mom would absolutely have heart failure if I shared on here, so I'll save that one for now. They also, we would decorate the tree every year and have like snack plates. My mom would go all out with like all of these hors d'oeuvres and appetizers and stuff. And
I think it's something that we hope to one day.
And we'll talk about that in another video because we've gone on for a while here.
Exhausted
we wanted this to just be really short, guys.
Yeah, we just don't do short. We've tried. We do long. So if you've stuck around this long, like us.
And comment and tell us like if you're okay with the long videos, or if we should have wrapped this up after like 5 minutes.
And if you tell us that you wanted us to wrap it up, tell us in the longest fashion possible, because we like long. And while you're at it, subscribe, so that you can continue to come back for long, long videos.
Alright guys, Merry Vlogmas. We will see you in the next one. Bye.
Merry Vlogmas.